Hello BookTube. Today for Tag Tuesday, I'm going to be doing the Q tag. This tag is the 17th in the ongoing alphabet tag series created by Jim of Jim's Books, Reading, and Stuff. Q is for quick. What was a quick read for you? A book you read in one or two sittings. The most recent book I read in a few sittings is Priest of Bones by Peter McLean. Priest of Bones is an urban crime fantasy set in the fictional city of Ellenburg, in which a young gang boss who has gone off to war returns to his home city with his comrades in arms to find his properties, his businesses stolen from him. He then begins to take his businesses and his properties back, and in so doing draws the attention of the Queensland, the Secret Service in his home country, who use him as a means to combat a foreign incursion. Sorry about that. It was a scam. If the plot kind of sounds quite similar to Peaky Blinders, it is. Priest of Bones is very much inspired by Peaky Blinders, the television series starring Cillian Murphy. Although there are certainly a lot of differences in plot and stuff. But I loved the book when I first read it a few years ago and just recently reread it, and I just loved this rereading. Although it kind of ruined me a bit the following reading week. So anyway, moving on to Q is for question. Okay. You can ask me a question in the comments below, and this is, I guess, for Jim himself. But the question proper is, what is your favorite question word? I think what would be my favorite question word. Q is for quantity and quality. Would you rather read 10 okay books in a month or one very good book? Probably would be one very good book, although preferably a number of very good books. Generally speaking, because I'm prone to bill the 10 just okay books. So, Q is for queer. Do you have a favorite queer author? And for this, Jim leaves a little star to alert you to how he's using the term queer, which is as a blanket term for all sexual minorities. There was an article in The Atlantic suggesting dropping all the other letters of LGBTQIA+, as it was getting a bit unwieldy, and he doesn't intend to cause any offense if you do find the term queer offensive, which in some cases I do. And while LGBTQIA, etc. plus is unwieldy, I think, queer has its own problems, which I don't particularly want to get into here. But as for a specific author, I would go with, I think, Armistead Maupin and Alan Hollinghurst, even though I haven't read nearly as much of Armistead Maupin's work as I would like, and I have struggled lately with Alan Hollinghurst's work, but I would go with them. Also Dennis Cooper, Michael Cunningham, Edward Field, Mark Doughty, Mark Wunderlich, so on and so forth. Wait, where are we at here? Q is for quiet. Do you need quiet to read? No. I can read with the TV on, with music playing. It doesn't really bother me any. Although that's maybe a plus of subvocalizing is you can kind of drown out the noises by sounding out the words in your head rather than just sight reading it. Q is for Quran. Have you read the Quran? No. Q is for Quack. Why does Pei have so many decks in his videos? I have no idea because I don't know who is being referred to here. Q is for Queensland, Qatar, Quito, and Quebec. Have you read a book from any of these places or anywhere beginning with Q? I might have read a novel set in Queensland. I think Freddie Neptune by Les Murray might be set somewhere in Queensland. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that, because it has been a long time since I've read Freddie Neptune. So Qatar, no. Quito and Quebec, I don't think so. Also, I've going with fictional cities and locations. Blackfish City by Sam J. Miller. It takes place in the ocean city of Quack. It's a city composed of not quite oil rigs, but essentially like a number of oil rigs rigged together to form a massive city on the ocean. It's basically about a mother, the rider of a whale with a polar bear, looking for her children and seeking revenge on the person who she blames for ruining her family's life, of separating the family. I enjoyed it the first time I read it, but when I reread it last year, I didn't quite get on with it as well as I did the first time, which is increasingly typical for me. So anyway, Q is for Quaker. Has there been a Quaker protagonist or character in any of your reading? Quite a few in the histories I've been reading. Quakers play a role, I would think. Fiction, I'm not sure. Q is for quote. Can you share some quotes about reading? Not off the top of my head, no. Q is for Quill. Have you ever had any writings published? Yes, twice. Both critical works. When I was a senior in college, my the University of St. Edward's had a student academic journal. They also had a student creative journal too, a literary journal. And I had a piece published in the academic journal. It was about Suddenly Last Summer. And then a few years later, I had a article published on the Blackgate magazine website, talking about a number of manga series that I would recommend fantasy readers to read. So far, that's the only two pieces of work of mine that have been published. Q is for quiz, question, and pull-up. Pull-up featured in which Dickens novel? I have no idea. Bonus prompts. Q is for queen. Do you have a favorite book about a queen or even about the queen? By whom I think Jim is referring to Queen Elizabeth II. Not off the top of my head. I have been slowly collecting biographies of royalty and especially queens. So far, I have a biography of Catherine de' Medici and Mary I, and also Catherine the Great. I am planning on picking up the new biography of Elizabeth II called The Queen by Matthew Dennison. I'd originally planned to pre-order it, but me being me, I decided to not continue with the pre-order. And then when I decided I wanted it, Amazon's being Amazon, and it's not quite so easy to pick up the Queen. Although I want to say it has to be something with the publisher, because there are a number of books I have on my wish list from this publisher that are being really weird publishing wise. So I'm probably going to pick up the paperback of The Queen when it comes out sometime in January, because it's available for pre-order from Book Depository. Although I'm not particularly fond of the cover. I much prefer the American one where it's a painted picture of the Queen rather than a cropped photo of the Queen on a green background, which the paperback seems to have. And I'm also looking forward to a new biography of Maria Theresa that's coming out from Princeton University Press sometime in January by, I'm blanking on the author's name. I'll leave a link to, or in the show notes I'll mention who the author is, that I am absolutely looking forward to. I'm probably going to actually pre-order it from Princeton here in the next week or two, because Princeton University has a sale on. So looking forward to getting some more books from them. Q is for Quetzal. Have you ever seen a Quetzal? No. Q is for quadruped. A chance to show your four-legged pets. I don't have any quadruped pets. I don't have any pets at all. Pets are, particularly mammals, aren't allowed at the apartment I live at. And generally I kind of agree with not having mammals as pets in this apartment, because it is on a very, it's on Main Street. It is a very sort of car heavy area, so I wouldn't necessarily, I would be too afraid that any pets I had would end up getting run over. So, no. Q is for quarrel. Have you ever argued about a book? No. Not really. So that was the Q tag. If you would like to do this tag, consider yourselves tagged. And I will see you tomorrow with at least a tag, I think, or I might do a poetry video on Wednesday and then do a few tags on Thursday, because there are quite a few tags I want to do that I haven't been getting around to. So anyway, BookTube, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. Thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.